Welcome back. In this section, what we're going to do is just continue working on blocking out all of our details a little bit more, and we're going to really focus on the front part of our car. Since the last section, we got the headlights blocked out, so now what we're going to do is kind of the front end where all the air goes through and where the grille is. So what we're going to do first is we're going to right click and we're going to select some of the isoparms here in the geometry that we have. Say about 3 or 4 would be good, and just insert isoparm. And then we're going to convert everything back into regular polygons so we can see what we're up to. And I'm just going to move these a little bit straighter. For now, and I'm actually going to cut my polygon object that we have right there and just detach. So we have something looking like that. Now once we have something like that, what we can do also is like we did for the headlights and the hood, is we're going to make sure that everybody kind of has somebody to meet up with. And I'm going to insert some isoparms there so that we have areas to match up. And I'm actually going to delete some of this area right there for now on the polygon. That way we can really get in there. And I'll add one line using split polygon tool so we can block it off a little bit. And we'll add one more isoparm. That way everybody should line up and have somebody to merge with in a second. And I'm just going to cut that little extra piece off again. There we go. So you're kind of left with a little box. So now we're going to convert our NURBS into a polygon. So again, we're going to modify, convert NURBS to polygon. Move the NURBS out. Delete the old the old NURBS. Actually, pull the poly out and delete the NURBS. And that should leave us with something like this, where we have everybody pretty close together. And I'm just going to delete this edge here for a second. And delete the old vertices. Now everybody looks like they have pretty much a partner, other than this little area, but we can fill that up like that. Now you're going to combine them again, and we've done this before. You're going to grab both pieces of geometry and you're going to go polygons combine. You can turn on your X-ray if you have it, and remember that one's a plug-in. And we're just going to merge vertices up. Now if you notice, that line isn't disappearing this time around. And the reason why is that we probably have our normals flipped, and it's real easy to fix. And I'll go through that in 1 second because it's a common occurrence. You see how we still have that brighter line where we merged everything? Most of the time when you merge vertices, the line will become nice and very dull. So if this happens to you, what you need to do is you go to Polygons, Clean Up, Option Box, and you're just going to hit where it says Other, Non-Manifold, Geometry, and Normals and Geometry. And basically what that'll do is once you hit F8, you go back to normal mode. We'll just make sure that all the normals are facing the right way. And your mesh is as clean as you can get it. And you can see by doing that, the lines fade again. And we have a little mesh again. Alright. So here we go. What we can do now is we're going to just modify this geometry a little bit so we can come around the front so we can make that a four-sided face. And we're going to leave that one there for now until we put in the headlights and the grille a little bit more defined on that section. So we can actually delete that part again and duplicate over like we did in the last section. So there's our car's body pretty much. So congratulations, we're doing really well for the amount of time we're spending on the tutorial. And that brings me to another point. You want to spend a lot more time in between sections than I do in the tutorial. This is more just to show techniques and that, and it usually takes a lot more tweaking to get it up to a really good quality finished piece of work in between sections. Okay, so now that our car is basically laid out, what we can do is start going in there and adding the little details to help bring out the car more dramatic, edges and lines. And again, what we're going to do is we're going to work on the front. So while I have my car selected, this is also a good time to edit delete by type history, because we're going to start something new, and we can also save. And I'll say this is part 5. We're going to go to our front view, and we're going to bring back our image planes. And you see how that brings up everywhere where we need to cut. And we're just going to focus on the main front grille for the rest of this tutorial section. So I'm just going to straighten these guys up a little bit and move them down. And same with this little guy. I'm going to grab my split polygon tool, and again, just like we did for the door, things are going to get a little bit messy looking right off the bat, but again, don't panic. It's all part of getting the detail in there that we need. And I'll just move that up. And instead of this guy just kind of having a 3-sided there, we're going to go up a little bit higher, and we're just going to change the direction again. And that way we can grab the edges there and delete. And you can see he's back 4-sided up there. Another little thing that we can do is we can go around to this side, and you can probably even go a little bit closer, like that, kind of like we did for the door, because you want to have nice close edges, so when we convert into a polygon smooth or a subdivision, you get a nice clean edge there. And we have a 3-sided over here that we'll take care of right now by merging. And we'll just move him over like that for now. And we'll just grab this and we'll move up here. This is one of the areas where you'll probably end up with another 3-sided at some place. But right now we're just going to focus on getting the cutout there. So one main difference between organic modeling and hard surface is that you always have to spend a little bit of extra time adding more lines to get a nice crisp, clean look. Okay, so I'm going to hide my image planes, and I'm going to actually duplicate this geometry, so I'm just going to use my regular duplicate, not the one that mirrors over. And I'm going to do a little trick. I'm going to right click and select the faces of the areas I want to keep. And I'm going to shift select the rest of my model, and you see how it just kind of flip flops? That way I can delete, and that piece will be used for the metal underneath. Now I can go to the new piece, the original piece, and I can actually delete the inside there. Now with this car model that I have, this actually is separate, where this round piece of the front grille here comes around. It actually has a little cut, kind of like the door does. So we're actually going to use our split polygon tool, and we're going to cut right down to the corner, like so. And then we're going to add another 2 lines, just like we did for cutting out the doors. So this isn't too new for us. we can delete